What is something weird about conservatives?
There is almost a cultish vibe, I feel. The way they operate within themselves, they refuse to listen to outside people, they're refusing to learn, essentially. I think that is a large part of it.
I'll take ironic for 700. Thanks. How in the hell did we get here? And actually, it's quite easy when you understand that we've been here before and just simply haven't learned from the past. Welcome to another psychological deep dive. Brainwashing edition. Yay! I've been calling out the insane brainwashing coming mainly from the far left for years now. And it's important to note that this is actually quite easy to see once you know what you're looking for. We have seen brainwashing happen across cultures, centuries, political parties, sexual orientations. And as you know, history will repeat itself if populations do not learn from it. Back then, it was done via newspapers, radios, and now thanks to social media, we can literally perfectly hyper-geo-target individuals. And even better, we can get the people to share our message free of charge. And they do this in 3 simple ways. Number 1, convince the people that are sharing this or are about to share this that they are the good guys. Number 2, hire celebrities. Have the people that people look up to be the forefront of this news frontier, the face of the message. Ellen tried to do this recently on Instagram and people were just not having it, and I was eating it up. More on that later. Number 3, convince those who are interacting with the posts that they are also being affected by it, that they are the victims too. And if that doesn't work, you can always fact check. By the way, ever notice that fact checkers only came out recently, like when the truth started coming out? So what exactly happens when a society or a population becomes brainwashed? Number 1, division. As you go on, it becomes more and more specific of a division. Black and white, gay and straight, cis and trans, rich and poor. Look at this ad that Kamala just posted recently.
Perhaps not since the Civil War has this great country felt as politically, spiritually, and emotionally divided as it does then at this moment. It doesn't have to be this way.
Number 2, anger. I mean, I'd be pissed off too if I thought that half of the stuff that they say is actually happening. Number 3, uprisings, rage, mostly peaceful protests. Listen, I've lived in New York City my entire life, and the only time I can think of that was as bad as it is now was in the early 90s. There are certain areas now that I will not go to. I won't even take the train anymore, it's gotten that bad. And living in Florida and having to deal with tornadoes and hurricanes, it's just like, are we even at all prepared for any of this? Because honestly, I don't think so. Especially when it comes to medical needs. Just look at what happened recently with the dock worker strike. It caused major delays and disruptions to our supply chain, including the ones that, I don't know, bring us life-saving medications. That's why I want to introduce you to today's sponsor, the Jace case. It's your personalized emergency medication kit with 5 essential antibiotics that can help you be prepared in case of an emergency. With record numbers of medication shortages year after year, it's more important than ever to have life-saving medications on hand. Getting a Jace case is very simple. Just fill out the online form at jace.com, that's JASE.com, and their team will handle everything from there. From online evaluation to licensed pharmacy delivery. You can use code Ariel at checkout for a great discount. It is active and up right now. Let me know if you guys have any questions in the comments. Make sure to go and support brands that support our message, our morals, and this channel. Number 4, there either winds up being more control or people start waking up to the brainwashing. This is a turning point. Potentially.
So when I seen the hurricane hit North Carolina and Tennessee, the first thing I thought was, damn, there goes some racists. There we go, we got some gone. And then I just seen this video that like the area it hit is like sundown town after sundown town after sundown town, and they are just completely flattened and gone. And I was like, God's work. God's work.
I'd say in 2024, it is like a good mix of both at the moment. But if we continue to see more of this and less of this.
How could you tell if your mind has been brainwashed? Psychology of influence has morphed.
Then unfortunately, I think history is going to repeat itself again. How are companies brainwashing us today? Well, I'm so glad you asked because it's a lot of shit. George Soros to control 200 radio stations in 40 U.S. markets. The Democrat-controlled FCC waived the rules that made it illegal for Soros to purchase 200 radio stations in 40 different markets, reaching more than 165 million American listeners. That's like, I can't do the math. Instead, the FCC is setting its sights on Elon Musk's Starlink, suggesting that it may be an illegal monopoly. Really big. Peter Sweden said, George Soros isn't buying 200 radio stations, or isn't just buying 200 radio stations. He is buying a propaganda machine to influence how we think. By the way, here are the top donors to the Harris and Biden campaign. Google and Microsoft, two major contributors in modern media. Elon said Google and Microsoft very disproportionately donate to the Democratic Party. Between them, they control close to 100% of web browsers and search. Even with the best of intentions, they can't help but induce bias. This is like number 3 or 4. I don't even know anymore because there's so much crap. Grooming we are seeing in schools.
Hello, book friends. September 22nd through 28th is Banned Books Week, which is the celebration of our freedom to read and freedom from censorship. And I want to talk about the top 10 most banned and challenged books of 2023.
Here is a very interesting scientific explanation as to why these people go for the kids first.
Why is it so hard to change someone's mind? Let's talk about it. If you're new to my channel, I'm of course Rachel, the neuroscientist. The brain really doesn't like changing its mind, and that gives rise to things like the confirmation bias, anchoring bias. Confirmation bias means that we'll actually selectively filter out information that is incongruent with our existing beliefs. Even if we do process that information, we'll give it a lot less weight than we would with something that actually aligns with our existing ideas. Anchoring bias is where we hold on to the very first thing that we learn about something, and it's hard for us to let go of that, even when we're presented with evidence that suggests that it's not accurate. What a terrible design! Why are we like this? Well, neuroscientifically speaking, once you learn something, your brain has to restructure and rewire itself. We also instinctively perceive change, uncertainty, unpredictability as inherently dangerous. Sticking to what's familiar can obviously serve as an evolutionary advantage. The last and perhaps more psychological component of that is that our ideas tend to be tethered to our identity, and the brain really doesn't like threats to identity. Your sense of self involves so many different structures, memories, processes in the brain. To rewrite that would be very complicated, and in the daily struggle for survival, potentially fatal.
Professors, generally speaking, are Democrats. Therefore, the experts are Democrats. This poll is from 2018, and it surveyed a little over 5,000 professors. 100% of communications professors, 100% of anthropology, 98% of religion teachers, English, sociology. The only thing that's less than 75% is engineering. It makes a lot of sense, doesn't it now? Number 3, conditioning. Teaching people that one specific group of people, or people that have a specific set of morals, is inherently evil, while the other group is perfect and can do no wrong. Watch this video of this gay man at a bar recently.
As you can see, I am wearing my Make Gay Bars Gay Again hat, along with Chris. Valdemar is wearing a bedazzled MAGA hat. We were just told by the bouncer at Buddy's that they're charging a $40 cover for the 3 of us to get into this bar when they are not charging anybody else that cover. This is discrimination and homophobia against gay people who have conservative ideology. If you don't go along with their narrative, if you don't agree with their political views, they're going to discriminate against you.
Another way is allowing companies to poison our minds, of course, with brainwashing, but also our bodies. RFK recently called out a number of companies for poisoning our bodies, and he also was quoted saying that he's going to help America be healthy again with Trump.
This is what most Americans innocently put into their bodies these days, and most alarmingly, into the bodies of their children. Doritos, Cheez-Its, Captain Crunch, gummy bears. Everyone knows that these are junk foods, so maybe you wouldn't be too surprised to see that the ingredients include a lot of poisons.
Control.
So do you intend to seek legal action, whether on Elon Musk or any of the proliferating
Well, they
deepfakes?
haven't had a chance to review the specific lawsuit around a conservative blogger that seems offended by our law.
In case you missed that, listen to what he said again. He literally said that he will not rule out legal action against Elon Musk for being a conservative memer. And if all of that doesn't work, the very last step is convincing, normalizing. Step 1, it's not really happening. Yeah, like the border, it's not open. It's definitely not open. Step 2, yeah, it's happening, but it's not a big deal. Yeah, okay, like the border is open, but it's like not that bad. bad. Step 3, it's a good thing actually. It's actually a good thing that all these illegals are coming in. I mean, they're like good for the economy. Step 4, people that are freaking out about it are the actual problem. People who are saying that the border is open is a bad thing are racist. Convincing and normalizing once again. What if ultra-processed foods aren't as bad as you think? Somebody said, normalize. Talk about how nearly 80% of calories come from ultra-processed food, so it can't be that bad, right? Ignore the fact that 50% of children now have a chronic disease. And if all of that doesn't work, your very last resort is to just influx an entire new subset of people to your country that will believe your bullshit.
Right now, there are over 13,000 illegal aliens convicted of homicide who are roaming the United States right now. There are another 15,811 illegal aliens roaming the country right now who have been convicted of sexual assault, and there are even more who are facing charges for homicide and charges for sexual assault.
But as I said before, there are an extreme number of people that are waking up to the bullshit. I said earlier in the video that Ellen posted this to her Instagram, and listen to the responses. I love it. Melissa said, lesbian for Trump here, baby. Curly Boy Chuck said, which is why I will be voting for Trump 2024. You'd be a fool to vote blue. Rachel said, as a proud Trump supporter who happens to be gay, I find this post appalling. She said appealing, but she meant to say appalling. It's her second language. The MAGA movement and Trump himself have never showed me any hate. Only tolerance, acceptance, and love. You should be ashamed of yourself for creating more division and lies. Maria said, hate and violence? Do you mean that what we've seen in the past 4 years? Where the hell have you been living? Somebody said, you're so right, Ellen. This is why I'm voting for Trump. He is for America, not against it. But as always, let me know what you guys think in the comments. I hope you enjoyed that psychological deep dive. It was a lot to handle. It's a lot to take in. If you enjoyed it, give it a big thumbs up and go and check out our sponsor, The Jace Case. As always, I will see you guys back here on Sunday with a brand new video. Until then, I love you. Love yourselves. Keep calling out the bullshit. Bye.